Welcome to your last page of notes in your first social studies unit. Social studies in fourth grade is a lot of work and there's a lot of information, and Regents is such a huge unit, but you got to your very last page and I'm super proud of you. To get started on this super quick page of notes, I'm going to use my fingers to spread out my page and I'm going to zoom in. So just to explain this picture a little bit, above this line right here, this is Virginia and this is North Carolina. Right here, I'm even going to shade it in a little bit of blue. That's the Chesapeake Bay and this is the Atlantic Ocean. So this is just a map of Virginia and North Carolina zoomed in to show the Dismal Swamp and Lake Drummond. So Miss Brady has already given you your lesson on the Dismal Swamp and Lake Drummond. So we're going to fill in the notes with that information. So I'm going to zoom in on Dismal Swamp and fill in our blanks before we color on our map. So the Dismal Swamp is located in the coastal plain region. Remember that low, flat land that borders the Atlantic Ocean and the Chesapeake Bay. It has a variety of wildlife. If anybody says wildlife, that can mean animals or plants. And our box for Lake Drummond, this is also located in the coastal plain region. And it is a shallow natural lake surrounded by the Dismal Swamp. So we have the Dismal Swamp, and then in the center of it, oops, I'm trying to talk while I'm writing. In the center of it is Lake Drummond. So the Dismal Swamp surrounds Lake Drummond. So if we zoom in on this map, you can just watch for a little bit. This outside border is the Dismal Swamp. Everything inside of there is the swamp. That tiny little circle, that's the lake. Right above that North Carolina-Virginia border. So this whole big area is the swamp, and in the center we have the lake. So I'm going to come down to my box that tells me what to do on my map, and it says create a compass rose on the map of Virginia. We could do it in our sleep. We have our compass, and we know that it's never eat soggy waffles. I'm going to fix my E a little bit for north, east, south, and west. I'm going to use my fingers to come back to my page, check it off, and go to my next bullet. It says color the water blue. So since this map is kind of hard to read, I'm going to pick my small blue highlighter that I used on my last page. And we're doing this because sometimes whenever you look at black and white maps, it's really hard to tell, one, what you're looking at, that this is zoomed in of Virginia and North Carolina, and it's hard to tell which part is water and which part is land. And then this down in North Carolina is also some water. Now, again, if you're not done, just pause your video and play it whenever you're ready. I'm going to check that off. I'm going to color the land green. I'm going to use my big green highlighter because we have a lot of land. That's everything in here. And again, might not be the prettiest. We have our eastern shore over there. Don't forget it. Sometimes people forget that that's part of Virginia. And actually, I'm going to go back to my blue highlighter really quick. Oh, I might use a blue pen. I'm going to color my Lake Drummond blue. So again, if you're not done, just pause your video. Once you're done, check off that you colored the land green. And we're going to label Virginia. I'm going to get my black pen and write Virginia. I'm going to check off that I've done Virginia. or labeled it. And then we need to label North Carolina. That's everything below this line. Remember that giant border we share with North Carolina to our south. And I'm going to check that off. That one was super easy. I'm going to pause on this map for a little bit just so you can see I colored. Why don't we, I'm going to add something too. Let me get my small black pen. I'm going to label my Chesapeake Bay and my Atlantic Ocean. So once you kind of get around this eastern shore, all of this water over here is the Atlantic Ocean. It's connected to the Chesapeake Bay, but this is kind of the stop of the Atlantic Ocean and the start of the Chesapeake Bay. I'm going to pause again on that map so you can see what it should look like. We colored the land green, we colored the water blue. It's not the prettiest, but it's important to know on that map there's a lot of lines going on. It's easier if you can see what's green and what's blue, what's land and what's water. And also we have our Dismal Swamp information box pointing to the Dismal Swamp, and we have our Lake Drummond information box pointing right to Lake Drummond. Once you're done with your notes, you're going to come over here and do your last drag and drop for regions. We have what region are the Dismal Swamp and Lake Drummond located in? So you need to be answering with a region. Drag the answer to that box. Lake Drummond is surrounded by what land feature? What is wildlife? Use your notes over here to help you out. And then the Dismal Swamp is also located in what state? What state does it go down into? Once you drag those pieces, your teacher will be able to see where you drag them to see if you got them correct. And then you don't need to click anything because that's the end of our regions notes. And you can always come back to your regions notes if you're doing a study guide or you're trying to get ready for your quiz. These pages will all be here with all of your information in it.